Good evening, basketball fans, NBA fans. How are you? It's been a while since I've done a video. Just been really fatigued and stuff, but I'm back, and this is Scott's NBA talk, and we're gonna talk about the Southeast Division. Now, I'm just gonna tell you straight up, I'm doing this from memory at the moment because I have so many notebooks. I write stuff. I don't remember which notebook I had all my information in. So, I can't tell you who I think is going to finish first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. I may not have all the reasons, but, and this one's going to be tough. So let's get this rolling. Okay, the Southeast Division, you have the Atlanta Hawks, you have the Charlotte Hornets. I don't know why I almost want to call them Bobcats again. The Miami Heat, the Orlando Magic, and the Washington Wizards. Now, from looking at what I saw, soft season, I can't see any team beating the Washington Wizards. So I think they're going to finish first. They still got John Wall, Bradley Beal healthy. That backcourt is dangerous. Wall and Beal, I mean, that's two guys that can probably go and get you 25 points apiece. And John Wall gets you 10 assists. So, and Bradley Beal can knock down the threes. You got about 50 points there, probably. They re-signed Otto Porter. He'll probably get you 10 to 15, maybe. Markieff Morris probably gets you 10 to 15 maybe. And then Marcin Gortat maybe 10 to 15. And their bench, they added point guard Tim Frazier. It's an okay pickup. It's not the greatest. I think the great pickup was the backup at the 2 guard, Jody Meeks. But he had problems staying healthy most of the year, so if he can at least, he can provide you some spark off the bench. I think it was a few years ago when he was on the Lakers, he dropped, I think, like 40-something on the Thunder. So, I mean, he could come in, and that's where I think the Wizards really needed the most help, is off their bench. And, they got Ian Mihami or whatever, center. He's okay. He's not great, but he's okay. I forget who they're. Like I said, I'm doing this by memory, so I can't remember who their backup power forward is. They got Kelly Oubre. He's got a little toughness to him, so that could be interesting. I just can't see any team beating the Washington Wizards in the Southeast Division. The Wizards would have to go down with really bad injuries. Alright, to me, the Wizards finish first. To me, that's almost a given. I'd say 70-80% chance they're finishing first place. Second place, this is where it's tough. I'm torn between second and third here. Because one part of me thinks Miami and another part of me thinks Charlotte. And I know on Charlotte, Dwight Howard's kind of not what he used to be, but maybe he can get back to that. And they got Kemba Walker. Now I'm not sure about Miami. Miami got hot at the end of the year last year. They started off 11-30, and they went 30-11 to finish 500. So I don't know. They play tough though. I'm gonna go with. God. You know what? I'm gonna go with. I don't know, Charlotte got hot last year until Cody Zeller went down. And then that killed them. I'm going to go with the Miami Heat finishing second. Like I said, I was torn between this Miami and Charlotte because I think both of them could be almost equally good, I think. Miami still got Hassan Whiteside. I call him Hassan, I don't know why I almost did that. They drafted a rookie, Bam Adebayo from Kentucky, and I usually like players from Kentucky. Majority of them are pretty good, so I think he's got a shot at being solid. Okay, they added Kelly Olynyk from the Celtics. He's tough, and he can hit the three, so that could open up the floor. You can bring him in coming off the bench whenever, like, Whiteside goes down. And I think he's tough. I mean, I don't think he's going to block shots like Whiteside, but he can provide you some toughness. So you got that. Then you've got, like, James Johnson, who's athletic, can dunk. You've got Justice Winslow, who's a pretty good perimeter defender. Then you've got, like, Dion Waiters, who I think was the surprise of last season. Like, for them. Now they got someone, another DW. Used to have Dwayne Wade, now Dion Waiters. And I think he'll get good. I think he'll be good again. I don't know. I think he's going to be a surprise player. I mean, I'm not saying he's going to go out and drop 25, or he might drop 17, 18, 20 points maybe. Surprise. Goran Dragic's still an okay point guard, not the greatest. But I think Miami's got enough that they can finish second. Now, whether they I think they can make the playoffs maybe, but I don't know. So I think Miami will finish second behind the Wizards. They could finish first if the Wizards, though, go down with an injury. But I think so far it's the Wizards, the Miami Heat. Third place, now that I went with Miami, I'm going to go with Charlotte. I just think Kemba Walker is going to go out and drop 25. 25, maybe 7, and maybe 4 rebounds. I don't know. I think and then they added Dwight Howard. And he used to play for Steve Clifford, I believe. So maybe he can put some spark back into Dwight Howard. If Dwight can go out there and put up 14 and 10, I mean, Dwight can definitely rebound. And I used to be the biggest Dwight Howard fan. I'm not anymore, but he can still rebound good. I think he can give you at least, I'm going to say he can give you 15 and 12. So right there you got probably 25 and 15. So you got 40 between the point guard and the center. Got Cody Zeller coming off the bench. I think he can give you probably another 10, maybe. Marvin Williams could stretch the floor. You got Frank the Tank Kaminsky could stretch the floor. Then you've got, well, I heard Nicholas Batum kind of went down with an injury, so that I think that was another factor that made me go third instead of second. I don't know, I forget how long he's out for, so if you got information, let me know. Then they've got Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. He's an okay defender. They added Dwayne Bacon, who I feel, if he gets some playing time, I think he could be one of the steals of the draft. He'd be one of the best second rounders in this draft. I was surprised no team in the late first round took him. Malik Monk, I think could be good. I don't know if he'll be great. I think he's like 6'3", 6'4". He's probably going to remind me maybe of a Monte Ellis. Which, if he can go out and score like Monte Ellis, that's really going to help Kemba Walker. So, he might be able to give you 10. Maybe, I'm going to say he can give you 10 his first year. Maybe. He might get more playing time. Possibly. I don't know. With Batum out, because I thought Batum might be playing the shooting guard, maybe small forward. My only knock on this team, the backup they went and got. They went and got Michael Carter-Williams. He hasn't been good to me since Philadelphia, first year, rookie year. And to me, that was a fluke because that was when Philadelphia was really awful, and they're going to be good this year. But, Charlotte, to me, will finish third. Now, who's finishing fourth, this is going to get tough. Kind of. I'm only going to judge this by preseason so far. I'm looking at, I think Atlanta got worse. But the coach is what makes me wonder if they could still finish fourth. They still got Dennis Schroeder, but they lost Dwight Howard, they lost Paul Millsap. They don't have Kyle Korver anymore. Of course, they traded him, I think, a year or two ago. You know, they lost a lot. They don't have Jeff Teague anymore, so they really lost a lot of their team. I mean, they still got Kent Bazemore, Ersan Ilyasova, and Dwayne Dedmon, which is not a bad pickup. I don't know, though. I'm going to go with the Orlando Magic finishing 4th at 32-50. I think Atlanta might win 30 games, maybe. But I think Orlando is going to have a better year than last year. I do not think they're going to make the playoffs. But they went and they may surprise, because the Eastern Conference is definitely like the Eastern Conference right now, pretty much. I mean, to me, there's only, Cleveland, Boston, Washington, and Toronto, to me, are guarantees. And I'd even put Milwaukee as a guarantee, maybe. So there's 5 teams that's, to me, almost a guarantee. And, but I'll talk about playoffs some other time, but, I'm not sure. I mean, I think Orlando will finish 4th. I mean, they've got... Vooch got a little better in defense last year. I need to see him get better defensively. Because if you're going to go out there and play 28 to 35 minutes a game, you need to be able to defend a little bit better. You can definitely rebound. You're a great rebounder. And I've met Vooch a couple of times. And he seems like a really cool dude. And it's very interesting when most of my life I've been the taller person, so it's kind of cool. But I think he'll play probably 28 to 35 minutes a game, somewhere in there. He's just got to defend better. He can definitely rebound. I think he can get you 15 and 12, at least, at minimum. And Aaron Gordon has looked good so far in preseason. I hope he turns it up. But my thing is too, it's his contract year, so it makes me wonder if that's why he's going to turn it up, try to get paid. I hope if he does turn it up and gets paid, he continues to turn it up and better his game. Because I'll tell you right, I'll take 17 and 6 or 7 or 8 rebounds from Gordon and 3 or 4 assists, because I think he can do it. He definitely can dunk. He's a high flyer. He can dunk. And I think Gordon looks like he's worked on his 3 a little bit, which that's really good. To me, he's better. Last year was awful when they had Serge Ibaka and Gordon was playing small forward. That did not work. Gordon is more effective at power forward. You got to keep him at power forward. And I'm going to have to say this. Before the draft, I kind of admit I thought Jonathan Isaac was going to be a bust. But now I'm looking at, when I saw his game, I'm kind of I don't know, I'm pretty impressed with what I've seen so far. They've also added some depth this year. I mean, last year to me, they didn't have enough depth. They added Jeff Green last year, and that still wasn't enough depth. But this year, they got some depth on this team. I mean, they added Maurice Spates. I love that signing. That's probably my favorite signing, besides Jonathan Simmons from the Spurs in the offseason. I just think those 2 signings are great, especially Maurice Spates. That's a guy who could definitely stretch the floor. He's an okay defender, but he could stretch the floor. He could play the 4 or the 5, so it's good if, say, Vooch goes down, and we want someone who can give us a little more offense. And Bismack Biyombo, I think I read somewhere he put up 18 last night. I don't know, I haven't looked at the box score, but he could put up numbers like that. That would be something. Because he's more of a defensive player to me than offense. That's why I think we signed him, for defensive purposes. Elfrid Payton, towards the end of last year, I thought he was starting to rise. He still needs to work on his 3-point shot. I think if he shoots 3s, he needs to take them from the corner. That's your best chance of probably making them. That's your highest percentage at making a 3 is from the corner. So if you're going to take a 3, Elfrid Payton, take it from the corner. Evan Fournier, if he could go out and put up about 17, because to me, I think he can get the offense going. I've even heard someone suggest, and I don't have a problem with this, if he came off the bench like a Manu Ginobili, Now, I don't think he's as great as Manu Ginobili, but I think he's a good player. He's not great. I thought Manu Ginobili was pretty great, in my opinion. There was a time I had him as like a top 5, top 10 shooting guard at one point. And then they got Terrence Ross, who I would love to see what he does the full season for the Magic. I'm still curious about what Jonathan Isaac's going to bring, a rookie. Wesley, I can never say his name. The guy from Kansas State, Iwandu, whatever his name, I can't say it. Help me. You know, I think he'll be an okay player in his little minutes. Shelvin Mack, I kind of like the signing. I thought he was real good in Butler, and I think he's a good guy coming off the bench. I like him. I don't have a problem with him, second and third string point guard. I can't say the guy's name. Birch looks like might be pretty good. I think Orlando, I think they can at least win 32 games, minimum. They might surprise me. Because last year I thought they'd win 43. Because I looked at Ibaka and Bismack and didn't think about the chemistry and thought they'd win 43 games. Because Ibaka was like a star, and I'm like, wow, we finally got a star on this team, and it didn't work. So I think Orlando Magic will finish 4th. But maybe like 2 games ahead of the last place team, Atlanta Hawks. What in the world? I can't tell half the time what this team's doing. Are you rebuilding? Are you trying to make playoffs and stink? What? I think you have to build around Dennis Schroeder at this point. I mean, there's just nothing. Kent Bazemore, like him. You know, and Ersan Ilyasova can stretch the floor. Dwayne Dedmon can block shots. I like that. But, I don't know. I look at Atlanta, and I just don't really see. They downgraded. If they make the playoffs this year, I will be shocked. If they make it, it'll probably be like a 7 or 8 seed, because I can't really see them getting in. I mean, they just lost too much. They lost 2 All-Stars. I mean, they lost Dwight Howard, and you lost Paul Millsap. And I shouldn't even suggest tanking, but I think, is it 2019 they're going to change the lottery? I would tank this year if I were you, Atlanta. I would. I would tank. So you could get Michael Porter, Marvin Bagley, or DeAndre Ayton. Or that, whatever, Bomba guy, whatever. Or that shooting guard. You know, I would tank if I were you, Atlanta. I just don't see. I thought maybe Atlanta could finish 4th. But I look at the depth of the Orlando. They got a lot of depth this year. So, I just don't see Atlanta really being as good as the last couple years. I definitely don't see them as a 60-win team. Like what they did, 2 or 3 years ago. That was amazing. It had 4 All-Stars on that team. That was unreal. I just don't see it. Okay, who in the Southeast Division, Eastern Conference, Southeast Division, who finishes first? Atlanta Hawks, Charlotte Hornets, Miami Heat, Orlando Magic, or Washington Wizards. Send your comments of your 1 to 5. Send your reasons. Expand on my reasons. And send me your comments. And thank you for listening. And if you like this video, subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. And thank you for watching Scott's NBA Talk. Have a great evening.